Hello everyone!
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Lighthouse on this Wednesday afternoon. It's great to have you with us all again.
Yes, we've got another fun 30 minutes planned for you today, full of singing and games and challenges and a Bible talk as we explore the 5th story in our God Cares series. And today we'll see how Jesus told a story all about a lost sheep.
Great, well I wonder, did the sheep ever get found or was it lost forever? And what's the story of the lost sheep got to do with us?
Well, there's some very good questions indeed. We'll find out the answers to those questions and lots more later on. But first, it's time for a game.
Well, if you are a regular watcher of the Lighthouse Online, you will know that we play a game every week, and so that's what we're going to do now. And as we've already said, the theme, the story this week is the lost sheep. That's the story from the Bible that we're going to be exploring and thinking about a little bit later on. So our game today involves this sheep and these cups. As you can see, we have these cups on the table. It will also involve these cool little guys, the chicken and the frog, which will be part of the game a little bit later on. Now the game is going to go something like this. We're going to put the sheep into one of the cups. So let's just pop him in there so that he's in nice and secure. And cup there. And so what we're going to do is the sheep is under one of the cups. Now the other two cups in round one are empty. We're going to jumble them up and you need to look closely and see if you can work out which cup the sheep is under. It's going to get a little bit harder as we go on into round 2 and 3, 4, 5 when we bring in the frog and the chicken and some other cups as well. So let's have a go at it. Round 1, watch closely, see if you can work out the sheep. He's under that one at the minute. See if you can work out which cup the sheep is under. Okay, so do you think the sheep is under cup 1, cup 2 or cup 3? 1, 2 or 3? Couple of seconds to have a think, make your decision. Okay, let's have a look. Cup 1 is the sheep. So if you said cup 1, you were right. The other two are empty. So if you said cup 1, give yourself 1 point. Okay, round 2. Let's bring in one of these other guys for round 2. Let's bring in the frog. So we'll pop the frog under that one. So we've got the sheep under that one at the minute. The frog, and that one is empty. Again, we're trying to find the sheep. Which one is the sheep under? Round 2, watch closely. Okay, which one is the sheep under? Is he under cup 1, cup 2 or cup 3? 1, 2 or 3? A couple of seconds, have a think, make your decision. Okay, let's have a look. Under cup 1 we have nothing, empty. Cup 2 is the frog, chilled out frog there. And under cup 3 of course is the sheep. So if you said cup 3, give yourself a point. Okay, round 3 we're going to bring in a 4th cup. So we've got 4 cups, frog's under 1, he's under that one. The sheep is under that one at present, the other 2 are empty. Watch closely, which one is the sheep under? See if you can work it out. Okay, which one is the sheep under? Is he under cup 1, cup 2, cup 3 or cup 4? 1, 2, 3 or 4? Couple of seconds, make your mind up. Okay, let's have a look. Under cup 1 we have nothing. Under cup 2 we have the sheep. Under cup 3 is nothing, and under cup 4 is the frog. So if you said cup 2, give yourself a point. So that's the 3rd round. If you've got them all right so far, you should have 3 points. Round 4, we're going to bring in this guy, the cool looking chick with cool looking glasses. So we'll pop him under one of the empty cups. You stand up there, or right down, whatever. So see if you can work out which one the sheep is under. Presently he's there, under cup 2. Watch closely, round 4, let's go. Okay, so is he under cup 1, cup 2, cup 3 or cup 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, couple of seconds, make your mind up. Okay, let's have a look. So under cup 1 we have, yes, the sheep. So if you said 1 you would have been right. Cup 2 was the frog, cup 3 was the chicken, and cup 4 was empty. Okay, so well done if you said cup 1 on that round. That was round 4, so you'll have 4 points if you've got everyone right so far. Final round now, cup 5, we're going to bring in another empty cup. So we've got the sheep, empty, frog, chicken, empty. Okay, watch closely, round 5, see if you can work out which one is the sheep under. Okay, let's have a look. Is he under cup 1, cup 2, cup 3, cup 4, cup 5? This is the hardest round. Cup 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Couple of seconds, make your mind up. Okay, cup 1 is nothing. Cup 2 is the frog. Cup 3 is the sheep. So if you said 3, you were right. 4 is empty, and 5 is the funky chicken. So that was cup 3, wasn't it? Cup 3. If you said 3, then give yourself a point. If you got all of them right, you would have 5 points. Well done if you managed to get all of them right, because it was quite hard, wasn't it? Started out easy and got a bit harder as we went on. Do let us know your score, and we can perhaps announce next week who won that competition. Well, in that game you had to try and find the lost sheep. And in today's story, a shepherd loses one of his sheep and searches everywhere until it is found. Well, listen carefully now as we tell the story to you.
Well, this term we're finding out that God cares for everyone. This is a story that Jesus told to help us to understand how much God cares for people who don't know him yet. And it's all about a shepherd. That's why I'm dressed up like this. I've got my hat on, I've got my coat on, I've got my wellies on. So I'm ready for a day in a field with my sheep. Now I've got 100 sheep. And it's my job to look after them and to keep them safe. Every day I take them to places where there's good grass to eat. And at night I sleep out in the field. That's why my blanket's over there, and I've got warm clothes on in case it gets cold at night. I need to stay there to protect them from danger, like wild animals, like maybe lions or even tigers, maybe even some bears, and maybe even the gruffalo. And I care about every single one of my sheep. And because each of my sheep matters to me, I care about each of them. I keep counting them all the time, just to make sure that none of them are lost. 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes a lot of counting to keep track of 100 sheep. Let's count them together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you get the idea. So one day I was counting my sheep as normal, and then something terrible happened. So I counted my sheep as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 97, 98, 99. I only had 99 sheep. One of them was lost. I looked everywhere for my lost sheep, but I couldn't find him. So I knew I had to set off and look for him until I could find him. So let's go. Can we find him? Well, he's not here, is he? I walked for miles to find my lost sheep. Was he hidden in the bushes? Can't see him there. He could be anywhere. There are so many places that a sheep can get lost. It could be in a ditch, or by a river, or up a tree. Do you see him up the tree? He's not up there, is he? Or maybe hiding in a shed. Do you see him in the shed? See there? There's lots of things in there, but the sheep isn't in there. There are so many places. He could be stuck in a hedge, under the sticks over here. No. And then I found him. Look, here is my lost sheep. I found him. Wow, I found my lost sheep. I was so happy that I found my lost sheep. So I carried him back quickly to the field to be with the others. Let's go back to the field. I was so happy that I found my lost sheep. I put him safely back in the field to be with the other sheep. There he is. But it's so great to have all my sheep back together again. All 100 sheep were back where they belong, safely in the field. And I was so happy that he had come back to be in my field. I found my lost sheep, but I couldn't wait to tell my friends all about it. I said, great news, I found my lost sheep.
That's great.
Isn't it brilliant? Isn't it brilliant that I found the missing sheep?
Yeah, that's really wonderful.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have all my sheep back in the field. I found the sheep that was lost.
Brilliant, mate. Let's have a party.
Well, it really was good news, and my friends were so happy. They were just as happy as I was. They were so pleased that the lost sheep had been found. And all of the sheep were in the fields where they belong, every one of the 100 sheep. And so I had a party, as one of my friends suggested, to celebrate the return of my lost sheep. The shepherd in the story, and we are like the sheep. Jesus said that when we don't know God, it's like we're lost. Like the sheep, we are not where we belong. And just like the sheep in the story belong to the good, safe field with the others, we belong in God's family, safe with Him. But because God cares for us, if we are lost, He goes and He finds us, and He doesn't give up until He has safely brought us back home to be with Him and Jesus in His forever family. And when He has found us and brought us back to Him, He has a party in heaven and celebrates because we were lost, but He has found us. And it makes Him so happy to have us back, safe with Him where we belong, trusting and following Jesus as our rescuer. God cares for people who don't know Him yet, just like the shepherd cared for the lost sheep. Well, as usual, I have some questions for you. I hope you are listening carefully to the story. Okay, question number 1. How many sheep did the shepherd have at the beginning of the story? How many sheep did he have altogether? Have a think. Well, the answer is the shepherd had 100 sheep altogether. Question 2. How did the shepherd care for his sheep? What did he do to look after his sheep? Now, I think there are 3 main ways that he cared for his sheep. Can you remember all of them? Have a think. Well, the answer is, I think the first way he cared for his sheep is by giving them good grass to eat. He also protected them from danger. He fought off wild animals like lions, maybe even some tigers, bears, and maybe even the gruffalo. And the last way he looked after them is by counting them every day, didn't he? To make sure that none of them were lost. Okay, question 3. What was the terrible thing that happened one day, and what did the shepherd do about it? Can you remember what was the thing that he realised, and then what did he do about it? Have a think. Well, he realised that one of his sheep was lost. So he left the 99 sheep, he searched everywhere until he had found the sheep that was lost. Okay, question 4. What did the shepherd do after he had found his lost sheep? What did he do next? Can you think? I think there was about 3 different things that he did after he had found his lost sheep. Can you remember all 3? Well, he carried it back, didn't he, safely? He carried it back to the field where it belongs, put it safely with the others, and then told his friends the good news that he had found the lost sheep. And then he had a party with his friends to celebrate. I think there was actually 4 things there. Well done if you got them all. And our last question for today, question 5. How are we like the sheep in this story? And how is God like the shepherd? It's quite a tricky one. How are we like the sheep, and how is God like the shepherd? What similarities did you spot? Well, have a think about that one. This is what I think. Because if we don't know God, if we don't know that Jesus is our rescuer, we are lost, like the lost sheep. But God cares so much for us that he will search for us until he has found us. And just like the shepherd cared for, searched for and found his sheep. And when God has found us, just like the shepherd in the story had a party to celebrate, God will have a party in heaven and celebrate with Jesus and the angels, because he has found us and he has brought us safely home to him. Well done everyone. Some interesting questions to be thinking about there. I hope you gave them a good go. Well done if you had a go at answering all 5. And if you did, this star is for you. Well, we have 2 more challenges for you to have a go at this week. Now this week, challenge 1 has 2 parts. Dan has a lost sheep map puzzle for us to solve and a lost sheep golf challenge for us to have a go at. Over to you, Dan.
Well, hello everyone, it is I, and it is good to be speaking to you once again. And yes, I have a beard. So today you've been learning about the story of the lost sheep and how Jesus tells us of the love and compassion that God has for us. Like how a shepherd would tend his sheep. But God is often described as a shepherd looking for stray sheep. And today's challenge is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be looking for sheep. So during last night, a sheep was reported missing from a shepherd's field. And the shepherd has called upon us to help him find it. So he's provided us with a map and a few clues in order to find him. So make sure you have a pen and paper standing by to make notes. That'll be fab. So are you ready? Because we are going to jump straight in. Okay, so here is the map, and as you can see, it's split into columns and rows. And all we have to do is find the square with the sheep in it. So here are the clues. Clue 1 is it is not on a square with a road in it. Clue 2 says it's a square next to a forest. Clue 3 says it's two squares away from the village. And the final clue says it is quite close to the bridge. Okay, so have you figured it out yet? Well, if you haven't, don't worry. We're going to work through it together. Okay, so clue 1 tells us that it is not a square with a road in it. So we can eliminate all squares with a road in it. And there you go. Takes quite a big chunk out of the map, doesn't it? Clue 2 says it's next to a forest. So we can eliminate all squares that are not near a forest. Now I should say that diagonal squares don't count as being next to the forest. Also, we know it's not a forest square, so we can eliminate all those as well. Clue 3 tells us it's 2 squares away from the village. Now that doesn't include diagonals though. Now it could be a number of possibilities here. It could be B1, where there's rocks. It could be B3, where there's a watermill. Or it could be A4, where there's just a river. Clue 4 gives us more information about this. So it tells us it's quite close to the bridge. So it can't be B1, or it can't be A4. So it must be B3 at the watermill. So we have found him. You're an absolute star if you got it right. And here he is, safe, well, and eager to get back to his friends and family. Well, he must have been thirsty at that watermill, right? But the job is not yet done, guys. We've got to get this sheep back to the field. So for this task, you'll need a bull to represent the sheep. You'll need a cardboard box, or any kind of box really, or like a plastic cup really, to represent the field. And also, as a shepherd, you'll need your staff to guide the sheep to the field. So see if you can guide the bull from one end of the room or your garden to the other. Okay, let's get on it. That was hard. Wow, I wonder how you guys got on at home. Did you find it hard or did you find it easy? Well, but good news guys, we got the sheep home. Yes. And just like the lost sheep, we can be found through Jesus and our Lord God. And He will guide us so that we are never lost again. Back to you, Laura.
Great, thanks Dan. A great challenge for you to have a go at this week, testing both your map reading and your golf skills. I wonder who found the lost sheep before the answer was revealed. Do let us know if you managed to, and do send us a video if you had a go at the lost sheep golf challenge too. It will be great to share some videos with everyone next week. Well, for challenge 2 then, we've got a craft, and we're going to be making a peekaboo lost sheep craft to remind us of today's story, a little bit like this one. Now for this, you will need a green paper cup because we want it to look like grass. So if you have a green paper cup, fantastic. If you don't, you can use any colour of paper cup and wrap some green paper around it. But if you don't have a paper cup, and I don't have a green paper cup, I'm going to make my own using just an A4 sheet of paper or card to make a little pocket which can be used a bit like a cup. So if you don't have one, don't worry, you can make one by using just one sheet of green paper or card and some sellotape. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. You'll also need a straw or lollipop stick, a small piece or another small piece of green paper or card. If it's a different shade of green, fantastic, but don't worry if not. A small piece of black paper, so just a small piece will do. A small piece of white paper, so some white paper or white card. And some googly eyes, so if you have some googly eyes, fantastic, like that. You need 2 of those. If not, you can just draw 2 eyes on a piece of white paper and cut them out. And you're going to need some cotton wool, not much, just a small amount, about that much. And you're going to need maybe something to decorate. So if you have any flower stickers, or I've got some bee stickers here, you might like to sit in the grass, or flowers and ladybirds there. Or I've got also some flower shapes here as well, so you could use those. But if you don't worry, you can draw your own flowers on a piece of white paper and colour them in and cut them out. And you're also going to need maybe a pen or some colouring pens, some glue, so stick glue will be fine, some scissors and some sellotape. Okay, first, if you don't have a paper cup, let's make one together by rolling your A4 green paper or card widthways like this. So starting at the short end, roll it so you make a tube, like that. That's a bit like a telescope. And then all you need to do is the bottom end, carefully flatten a bit and fold up. Just fold it up, so like that, and then secure with sellotape. Okay. There we go, secure with sellotape. And now, you might want to just trim the top if it's a bit long. So it's about the size of a paper cup, so I'm just going to cut off the top about that much. So it's nice and straight, and there we go, we've made our makeshift paper cup or pocket for our lost sheep. Now all we need to do is make a hole in the bottom for our straw to fit through. So if you're using paper like me, I would suggest cutting out a bit of a triangle shape. So I've made one slit, then I'm going to put another slit just so the hole is big enough for my straw. Remove it, there we go, so you can see. And then I'm going to take my straw and push it through. Now if you have a paper cup, you'll also need to make a hole at the bottom of your paper cup. So there we go, our straw fits through. If you have a paper cup, carefully with scissors make a little hole at the bottom. Okay, so now we have our paper cup ready. We just need to make the sheep on top. So for this, you'll need to take your white paper and a pen, maybe a felt tip pen, and we're going to draw a small cloud shape and then cut it out and cover it with glue. Tear small pieces of cotton wool, so very small pieces, and stick them onto your cloud shape, covering the whole area to make the sheep's body all fluffy. So now for the face and legs. Now using your black paper or card, cut out 2 small rectangles for the legs, and then draw a simple face shape, a little bit like this, on your black paper. Cut it out, and then you're going to glue the legs and your black face shape in the right place on top of the cotton wool cloud. So make sure you put the glue on the back of your black paper or card on those shapes rather than on the cotton wool, otherwise your glue will be covered in cotton wool. So now you have your sheep, all you need to do is add on some eyes. Now if you have googly eyes, now's the time to attach your googly eyes where the eyes should be. I'm going to use some of these glue dots because I think that they make it really easy, but you could use sellotape folded back on itself, or if you don't have googly eyes, you could draw your own on a piece of white paper and cut them out and stick them on with your glue. Okay, so I'm going to add on my googly eyes. And then after this, all we need to do, there we go, there's my sheep with his eyes in place. And now all I need to do is to attach him to the straw in my paper cup or made up paper cup. So the top of the straw, so push your straw up, put the sheep so that the straw is on the back of the sheep, just like that. I'm just going to put a piece of sellotape across there to hold it in place. Like this. Okay, there is the sheep onto the straw now, so he's ready to get hidden inside of the cup. Carefully tuck him in. Okay, Now all we need to do is a bit of decorating here. Now one of the things that we need to do is to make our cup look like grass. So if you use a paper cup, make sure you cut the rim off, cut that rim off. If you're using the made up cup, we just need to cut some slits in the top to make sure the sheep doesn't get cut of our cup to make it look like grass. I'm just going to show you how to do that. So you can see I'm just doing some slits to make it look like grass, and we can bend that out afterwards. Okay, so now we can bend, you could go even further down. I'll put one more here on the edge. Okay, good. So all we need to do now is a little bit more decoration. So with your other piece of green paper, you have another piece of green paper, first of all you need to cut it into a shape which will be the width of your paper cup or paper pocket. So I'm just going to measure it like that to make sure that it's about the same width, and it's going to be quite deep, so I'm going to leave most of the depth. Okay, so about that size, roughly about that size. So I'm just going to make sure it fits on there because we're going to be sticking it on there good. So maybe, let's see if it went up to there. So we want to cut a bit off the bottom here, so I'm just going to cut that, make that a little bit smaller. Okay, now we need to write our memory verse for today. And our memory verse is, be happy with me because I found my lost sheep. Luke 15:6. So I'm going to write those words, but I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap here because we're going to make some slits in this to make grass as well. So start maybe about there. And I'm going to write those words probably over 4 lines to fit them in. So now that you've written your memory verse, you just need to cut some slits in the top to make it look like grass with your scissors. So cut all the way along, all the way up to the writing. It will look more realistic. Okay, so here we go. You can see it's looking a little bit more like grass, and we can bend it back once we've stuck it on. So now you just need to put some glue on the back, stick it on to your lost sheep pocket, and here we go. And the final thing to do now is to decorate our lost sheep pocket or cup with some flowers or maybe some ladybirds or butterflies. If you don't have any stickers, you could draw your own and colour them in and cut them out on some white paper. I've got some flower shapes here. These ones, I'm going to choose an orange one, and I'm going to stick it on with my glue. There's a little bit of glue on the back. Put it onto my lost sheep pocket. I'm going to use a colouring pen to draw the centre on, however you want to decorate. I might add some stickers. I've got some bee stickers here somewhere, I think. Here we go. Maybe there's a bumblebee in that garden that the lost sheep is hiding it. And once you've finished and decorated your lost sheep, as you play with it, as you look at it, just remember how much God cares for you, that he will look for you until he has found you. If you don't know him, he won't stop looking for you until he has brought you safely back into his family. Well, remember, if you do complete one of this week's Lost Sheep challenges, then please ask your grown-ups at home to take a photo or video of it and send them in to me, and then we can include them next week. Well, it's nearly time for us to say goodbye for today, but before we do, we've got a song for you. It's another awesome cutlery one. This one is called God Showed Us His Love. Well, we've heard today, haven't we, all about being lost and then being found by God. And this song is all about how we were lost without hope, but because God cares for us so much, he sent Jesus to die on the cross for us, to rescue us from our sin. When we say to God, shove off God, I'm in charge, no to your rule, we are found and rescued by Jesus because God loves and cares for us so much. Well, let's sing together. Don't forget to join in with the actions.
Well, we were still sinners, God showed us His love by sending us His own Son. Jesus died for us. God showed us His love when Jesus died for us. Well, we were His enemies, God showed us His love. How do we know what love is? God showed us His love by sending us His own Son. Jesus died for us. God showed us His love when Jesus died for us. Well, we were His enemies, God showed us His love. While we were lost and without hope, You rescued us with Your great love. While we were lost and without hope, You rescued us with Your great love. While we were lost and without hope, You rescued us with Your great love. While we were lost and without hope. Why should we love each other? God showed us His love by sending us His own Son. Jesus died for us. God showed us His love when Jesus died for us. While we were His enemies, God showed us His love. While we were His enemies, God showed us His love.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the Lighthouse Online this week. Tune in next Wednesday when we'll be continuing our God Cares series, and we'll hear how God cares for the lost in another story that Jesus told about a lady who celebrated when she found her lost coin. Have a great week and we'll see you next Wednesday.